Folks, this is all the fruit, and did you know that the rose petals are actually edible and usually also very tasty and very healthy? A lot of other things are made from rose petals. Actually, my native country of Bulgaria is the world leader in production of rose products. We make stuff like rose oil and rose water and rose essence, which is necessary for all those perfumes. However, here I'm in Germany, in the city of Weinheim, in the Rosenanlage, or rose installation. Anlage is often used as a name for garden or park, so this is the Rose Park. Yeah, there is not much left of its former glory. Over 100 years ago, the local lord of Pechtheim donated the area to the city of Weinheim. Actually, no, the first decade, he was a clever guy. He just gave the area to the city of Weinheim for usage. A couple decades later, it was donated to the city of Weinheim, which became the owner. And then they planted, they constructed this new housing development there, almost destroying the rose installation, which throughout a large part of the 20th century must have been magnificent. There were no buildings in the background, but you could see over the hills with two beautiful castles on top of the hills. The rose installation was much bigger. There were huge old roses everywhere. Then all this got more or less destroyed, and then in the 80s it got renewed. I'm a little bit surprised that the roses are not in full bloom yet. They maybe need one more week. In Heidelberg, I've seen the roses in full bloom for the last 1 or 2 weeks, and I thought I have to come to Weinheim to do this video. Now, I thought I would be too late, but nope, I'm not too late. I'm actually a little bit too early. It's funny because Heidelberg and Weinheim basically are situated next to the same mountain slope, less than 20 kilometers or 12 miles apart. Quite a big difference in the development. As you can see here, most of the buds are still not opened. Interesting. Yeah, we had a lot of drought during the last years, but this spring was very moist. So I remember this joke about the British. The only thing you can talk about with British people is the rain and gardening. So basically, when two British people meet anywhere, there is always the same conversation. Oh, lots of rain recently. Yeah, that's a safe bet in Britain. Yeah, but it's good for the roses. And then they are silent for the next couple hours. Okay, well, the rose garden might have been more beautiful a couple decades ago, but back then I wasn't born yet. And it might be more beautiful after a week, but I'm here now. So let's try and eat a couple of those. I hope it's not considered vandalism. Floribunda la Sevillana. Mailand. Interesting. La Sevillana means it's from Seville, but if this is the last word, Mailand might be a misspelled way of the German pronunciation of the city of Milan. Okay, let's try this Floribunda. Floribunda means flowering a lot. Yeah. Sweet and aromatic. If it was just a little bit more tender, it would be a wonderful flowery vegetable. Even now it's quite good. No label at this little thing with the wonderful blood red roses. Roses were very popular in Bulgaria in communist times, also as an ornamental. And a lot of parks in Bulgaria in communist times had those blood red Soviet color flowers, roses and others. Less sweet and more tough, I would say. Now what is this pink stuff here? No label. That's not gonna stop us. More juicy, but also quite bitter. No label on this one. More tough and also bitter. Come on, folks, I want a couple more labels. Or also no label on this one, it seems. Also the flowers are a little bit old. Quite aromatic. This could be some Rosa gallica, some relative of the Bulgarian oil rose, yeah. Also the smell is quite nice, but I don't know what it is. What have we got here? Marion de Ruiter. Beet rose means rose for a garden plot, yeah. They all grow at garden plots. Bit on the boring side taste-wise. I don't even know, not even sure this is a Marion, but this was already too far gone. Also, here it's pink, but here are a couple really red. But no idea. Now let's try this orangish tall climbing rose. More sweet in the beginning, but the aftertaste is a bit more tart and bitter. What about this here? And let's see if the old German ladies complain about the brown-skinned foreigner talking in some undiscernible language and munching on the flowers. No, this one is beautiful, but just tart and bitter, and I don't even know the name. Let's go ahead. Funny, they are taking very good care of this area, but many labels are missing. Red Leonardo da Vinci, Mailand. Either there is a rose breeder who was called Mailand, or they have misspelled the name of Milan and all those things. It should be spelled with an A, not with an E. Okay, let's try this. Leonardo da Vinci. Sour at first, too tartish, bitterish in the aftertaste. Here a little rose, well, a big rose, bred like a tree. It's also always a bit tricky because they like to break, that's why they need supports. It smells like an apple. Yeah, it's a bit of an apple smell, but no idea what it is. Kletterrose Naeglut. Well, Kletterrose is a climbing rose. This could be a climbing rose. Naeglut. Well, definitely a different tasting flower. Now, let's go on the lawn. A lot more roses here. I don't know if I'll be able to taste them all. Damascena Rose, Rosa de Recht. Well, this is a Rosa gallica, Forma Damascena. This is quite a close relative to the oil roses. Oh my god. And the smell is amazing. It's not really rose smell. It smells lemony and lemony and what is it, cinnamonly, and of other flowers. The commercial Bulgarian oil roses also have a lot of petals. That's why they are called triginti petala, with 30 petals, more than the wild roses, which usually have 5. Okay, the taste. is a bit bland with a slightly bitter aftertaste, but while chewing on it, I can still taste the flavor. Here I think the rootstock, the wild rose has developed. Look at it, most of those rose cultivars have 4 leaves. This has 7. Also the flowers are like the typical traditional rose flowers. Not much taste, but the good thing is those wild roses, those old rose varieties, produce edible rose hips. Most of those modern rose varieties produce beautiful flowers, but the fruits or the hips are good for nothing. Oops. There are supposed to be 3 different roses here, but they all look the same. Cosmos from Cordes, Angela from Cordes, and the Olympiad McGrady. McGrady sounds like a name. And one is a Beetrose, one a Strauchrose, and one a Teehybride. I think they just collected 3 labels here. Not sure if those roses are any of those 3. Big petals. Sweet. But also a bit bitter and very tart. A lot of sweetness at the beginning, but then pretty fast the bitterness and especially the tartness kick in. Okay, the other one had 3 labels. This one doesn't have a single one. Also not much smell, but I guess a ton of small flowers. Not much smell it, not much taste either. What about this one? Well, too tart and bitter. And here you can see how you achieve more petals in flowers. Very often it's just that the stamens are turning into petals. Basically they look for a mutation where the stamens turn into petals, so you have a lot bigger and more showy flowers, but of course you don't have so many stamens for the sexual reproduction. A lot of flowers with additional petals actually cannot sexually reproduce at all. Those can, because they still have a lot of petals here. What have we got here? No label again. The labels seem to be the first thing to go in all gardens. Beautiful, but when you rip it, the inside of this is white. Beautiful, but sour and tart. This is something quite different. The big bush. The big bush. Early flowers. A bit sweet at first, not too much tartness afterwards. Now the white one, again without label. Sweet and also quite tender. Let's try one more. Well, again a smell which is not really typical for roses. Again, a lot of the stamens have turned into petals. Tender, like a vegetable. Not too much taste to it. That's a good vegetable. The main contribution as a vegetable would be their ornamental value, but there is I bet there are a lot of antioxidants in the red ones and a lot of vitamins and micronutrients. Probably not a lot of the aftertaste is very tart and sour. What a contrast. This one, I would say nope. And it's also tough. Felt as a vegetable. Big contrast. But this one with this incredible but very unrosy smell. Top vegetable. Again, a nameless one. Beautiful red one. Only 5 petals. Again, tough and very tart. Here another one with a lot more petals. Not much smell. A bit tart in the aftertaste, not too much. And look at this contrast. At this, the young leaves are only slightly reddish, but with this one, which has quite smallish flowers and only 5 petals, the leaves are actually adding a lot of red to the general impression. Now this yellow one with those red blemishes. No smell. Tough and very bitter and tart in the aftertaste. Here is a label, but for which one? Melissa Nack Petrose. Well, nice smell. Lemony and like some sort of cosmetic or cleaning product I've encountered in Southeast Asia. Tender enough, no sweetness. A bit of sourness and tartness in the aftertaste. Again, a nice but not too typical rose flavor. Quite tender. Also no bad aftertaste. It seems the whitish ones are better for food. However, I guess people would like also a couple petals of the reddish ones because of the nice color. There's a Lichtkönigin Lucia, the Queen of Light. Yeah, Lucia is also it's also something to do with light, loose in Latin. A bit tough. But no bad aftertaste. And what is this? Schöne Dortmunderin. Okay, but I don't know if it's this one. I think the last one, the one I tried could be the Schöne Dortmunderin. Don't know which one is this Lichtkönigin Lucia because, yeah. Now let's try this one, no label. Tender. Those 2 old people doing at my backpack. Pushing it away and sitting down. That's Germans for you. There is a whole other bench right next to it, but nope, they want to sit on that bench and not anywhere on that bench, but exactly where this brown-skinned, non-Aryan person's backpack is. Yeah, I guess you can make fun of Germans. You are not allowed to make fun of like blacks and Jews and others, but Germans are okay. Yeah. Nice, dude, but why didn't you put them back already? Yeah. Bernsteinrose, Heidefen, Gruß an Weinheim. There seems to be even a local variety. Well, most of the roses here seems to be the little pinkish one, tender. I guess a lot of people wouldn't mind the aftertaste, but I like my vegetables to have a mild or a spicy taste. No, this one there, the tartness hit me even at the beginning. So this one kinda acceptable, but the taller slightly more reddish in the middle. Nah, oh, the taller is Grand Hotel. I hope it's Grand Hotel without a restaurant, because they are beautiful but not too tasty. So, but here I saw a label, since those are all those pinkish ones. Oops, now I don't see the label anymore. I think I would find out the name, but now the label. Lyon Rose, Cordes, Bed Rose. Yeah, this was the one which was okay as a vegetable. Now what about those tall orange ones? Kind of a lemony flavor, not bad. Taste is okay, mild enough and not too bad. Here we have the so-called potato rose, because it's potato-like leaves. I don't know, man, the flowers are so beautiful and the fruits are so tasty. Why do they name it after the leaves? This is a white variety. Okay, nothing special. What about this little pinkish one? Wow. Nah. Bah. Very bitter and tart. Funny, there is a name on the one which is not flowering. Ulmer Münster. This is the tallest church in the world. Is the church named Ulmer Münster. But this is not the tallest rose, even in that patch. Strauchrose Lichtkönigin Lucia. That's again Lucia, probably this one. Strauchrose Freising Morgenröte. Wait, those two are in front of this one. I don't think they are referring to those, because those are some sort of Kartoffelrose. Beetrose Apricola. Let's try this Apricola. Whoa, tons and tons and tons of petals. Let them be tasty. Tough, very tough. A bit tart in after. Strauchrose Dirigent, Strauchrose, Rosa rugosa Schneeeule. So finally here we have Rosa rugosa, but all this here is also Rosa rugosa, and you have so many other labels in it. What about this one? Bischofstadt Paderborn. Instead of just naming it after the city, after the town Paderborn. This one is actually not too bad. I think this is the Bischofstadt Paderborn. They named the rose Bishop City Paderborn. Paderborn is not the most beautiful name, and putting Bishop City in front of it doesn't make it better, but the taste is very mild, a bit sour, pleasant. No tart or bitter aftertaste, so it's a beautiful rose with a good taste. Maybe not the best taste when giving it a name, but apart from that, approved. Beet Rose Indians Ruffle, Strauchrose Rosendorf Spariskop. Well, here they named their village, also with a very strange name, but also they named it the Rose Village. Don't know which one is which. I guess this is the Rosendorf Spariskop. Beautiful rose, but a bit tough and no taste at all. This one was pretty good. The one with the slightly sour taste and the mild petals. What about those little white roses, which seem to be some quite late bloomers? A bit on the tough side, but taste-wise they are good. Brautzauber, bright magic. Guess because they are almost white. Here is lavender, but I'm not gonna smell it, or otherwise I will not be able to smell the roses without any interruption. Now here this quite big one. The flavor is quite nice. Tough. And with the tart aftertaste. Most of the tart ones are actually not too tart, but I really like the mild ones. Or the ones that surprise me with a lemony taste or something. Yeah, this one is nice. As a rule, it seems the lighter the color, the milder the taste. That also goes for things like grapes and some other fruits. However, the dark ones have more antioxidants and stuff, so they are often considered more healthy for consumption. What about this big pink one? Tender, sour, and the nice rose flavor persists while I'm eating it. Yeah, good one for consumption. This one, no labels here, sorry. Tough and pretty bitter and tart. What about this here? A lot of petals. Tough, a little bit on the tart side for such a light color. There are a couple more over there, but I guess you get the idea. All rose petals are edible. Theoretically also all rose hips are edible, but firstly most of those rose cultivars will have hard, tasteless rose hips, and secondly all rose hips are filled with itching powder, so you must be very careful when consuming them. If you don't know how to do it, better don't try. But with the petals, all are edible. None is toxic. You can add all as decoration, edible decoration to salads and other dishes. Now there are 3 Germans sitting on my bench. Well, 4 if you count my backpack. Yeah, all are edible, but I would say there are quite big differences in taste. A couple of the ones which had a very strong tart aftertaste with bitterness, I don't like them. The mild ones, I like them, and the couple really were really good at transferring even some sourness and some nice rose flavor throughout all of the chewing process. So I would say some are quite superior as a vegetable, some are acceptable as a vegetable, some are okay as a vegetable, some are acceptable as a vegetable but should rather be avoided. Yeah, but all are beautiful and most are nice and smelly. So I'm glad I was able to taste so many. So folks, those were a lot of different rose varieties from the remainders of the rosing garden or rose garden of the beautiful city of Weinheim. Stay tuned for a lot more fruit videos from the beautiful and incredibly fruit-rich city of Weinheim. And if you want to see more such content, mostly with fruits, but sometimes with flowers, tasting and eating, it's not enough to subscribe to the channel because YouTube kinda stopped recommending my videos. Maybe because I'm eating too many rose petals from the parks. Better press the little bell icon, then YouTube has to notify you of all new uploads. Also those nice people who occupied my park bench without asking were not Germans but Russians. I wonder if it's in the blood of both nations, this occupation of the park benches of other people.